Anthropology is the holistic study of humankind, past, present, future, biology, society, language, culture. Anthropology is comparative and cross-cultural. It looks into all kinds of societies, may it be ancient or modern, simple or complex. The study of culture is considered by most to be the central concern of anthropology. Cultures are traditions and customs transmitted through learning that guides the beliefs and behavior of the people exposed to them. There are 8 characteristics of culture. First, culture is learned. Anthropologist Edward Burnett Tyler said, "Culture is that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, arts, morals, law, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society." Culture can be taught through direct instruction or can be learned unconsciously or through observation. Second, culture is shared. Culture is an attribute not of individuals per se, but of individuals as members of groups. An example of a distinct internet community is 4chan, an image board which produced several internet phenomena such as the Rick Roll. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Most of the things posted there, especially the shared humor, are incomprehensible to outsiders. Third, culture is symbolic. The ability to use symbols is something exclusive to human beings. A symbol is something verbal or non-verbal within a particular language or culture that comes to stand for something else. For example, the first thing that usually comes to mind when you see this symbol is Yahoo, the internet-based corporation. Fourth, culture molds human nature. Culture converts natural urges and acts into cultural customs. The internet itself is an adaptation to our basic human need to socialize. Social networks and chat applications make us feel more connected with other people, regardless of geographical distance. Fifth, culture is all-encompassing. Culture encompasses features that are sometimes regarded as trivial or unworthy of serious study, such as pop culture. Online gaming, a seemingly commonplace activity, can tell us about how humans interact with game environments to produce their own identities, economies, and societies. 6. Cultures are integrated. Cultures are integrated and patterned systems. If one part of the system changes, other parts change. Each culture has a core set of values or central characteristics which integrates them and distinguishes them from others. An example of the internet affecting real life is the internet Twitter revolution. People tweeting about the Iran elections help to raise media awareness about the issue. 7th, people use culture actively. People use their culture actively and creatively. It's not a fixed set of rules. It can be flexible. Different groups in society often struggle with one another over whose ideas, values, and beliefs will prevail. There are a lot of people who believe in liberalizing copyright laws and actively sharing files on the internet over their digital creations. For example, removing videos on YouTube that violate copyright laws. Finally, culture can also be adaptive or maladaptive. Culture is an adaptive strategy employed by hominids, but at the same time, it can also be maladaptive. Internet technology was designed to make things easier and more accessible for us, but in a sense, it also lessens our productivity by giving us more access to recreational media. Another area of study in anthropology is the mechanisms of culture change. One of these is globalization. Anthropology is concerned with the articulation of global and local, how globalizing processes exist in the context of a particular society with their cultures. It is the people and society that mediates the processes of globalization in daily life. With globalization, it is not only about global interconnectedness, but it also reorders space and time. Globalization employs David Harvey's concept of time and space compression, by where distance is not present anymore, and yet it doesn't become a hindrance in organizing people's activity. One example of this is group meeting using Yahoo Messenger Conference. Globalization also employs Anthony Giddens' concept of time-space distanciation, where time and space is organized to connect the presence and absence in physical aspects. Globalization intensifies worldwide social relations, which link distant localities in such a way that local happenings are shaped by events that happened miles away. It cuts national boundaries, integrating and stretching cultures and communities across space and time. Now, it speeds up the flow of goods, capital, people, images, and ideas across the world. Globalization also stretches social, cultural, political, and economic practices. Now, any event or decision may affect communities and cultures even in remote areas of the world. With this, there is now entanglement and interlocking of the global and the local. Dissemination of culture can lead to homogenization, especially with the utilization of the media. On the other hand, it can also promote heterogenization, causing groups of people with the same culture to band together in the face of perceived external threats to their way of living. Media have become a primary means by which many of us experience or learn about the different aspects of the world around us. People use media to make sense of themselves and the world around them. Cultural studies explore the consequences of media use for the everyday lives of average individuals. The ritual perspective of mass communication sees the media as central representation of shared beliefs rather than as mere imparters of information. The theory of symbolic interaction assumes that our experience of reality is a social construction, that when we learn to assign meanings to symbols, we give them power over our experience. Meanwhile, the theory of cultivation analysis makes 5 basic assumptions on the nature of television. First, television is fundamentally different from other forms of media. Second, television is the central cultural arm of American society. Third, television cultivates a general consciousness on which people's conclusions and judgments are based. Fourth, television's major cultural influence is to stabilize social patterns. Fifth, the measurable, identifiable contributions of television to the culture at any one time are relatively small. Television is the king in today's generation. It dictates our wants and our desires. But now, there's a dark horse in the current mediascape, the Internet. Indeed, the advent of Internet technology has made a significant impact on how we interact. It's a medium that allows us to communicate with anyone, any place, and any time. Today, there's an estimated amount of 1.6 billion Internet users all around the world. Some simply define postmodernism as simply the continuation and development of modernist ideas. Postmodernism can be said to describe a mood or condition of racial indeterminacy and a tone of self-conscious, parodic skepticism towards previous certainties in personal, intellectual, and political life. Simulacra. Reality is gone for good, and we are only left with appearance, an image without the substance or qualities of the original. The real is now defined in terms of the media in which it moves. YouTube is a multi-million-dollar video sharing website where people can easily upload their videos and show them to the rest of the world. Anyone can be a member of this internet community, where one is free to upload an unlimited number of videos, ranging from simple hellos to more complicated dance routines, from amateur to professional.
I am very, very disappointed.
Not only that, members of this website can comment, praise, or criticize other videos as well. This is the reason why people are interested in studying this website. The dynamics on interaction and the communities built give a new meaning to space. However, if others are interested with YouTube, some are not. They think that YouTube shuts out civil and intellectual debate. Not only that, YouTube features videos that are seen as irrelevant, obscene, or unstimulating. But, come to think of it, YouTube can actually be an avenue of intellectual discussion. Participation doesn't end on YouTube alone. It continues to blogs, forums, and everyday conversation. Although, like in other communities, there is also a social hierarchy in YouTube. For a person to become popular, he must follow trends or make a response to a popular video. There's also a sense of belonging because people all around the world are also participating with you. Communication is thus constantly changing and reshaping itself to different forms and ways. A person has the option to choose how he will communicate his idea to the people.